Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Black on Purpose 365. Black on Purpose is the purpose. Have a seat at the table. Today I have a few topics that we're going to talk about. I'm changing up the format a little bit. So we're going to start out with 4 topics. Number 1, black fathers that happen to be icons. Number 2, the Super Bowl and the many things that were recognized and celebrated for the black culture. The MVP snub, Lamar Jackson, why the WNBA is being represented very good. I have a segment where I'm highlighting underrated black excellence. Then I'll finish up with 2 truths and a lie. All right, so diving right on in. Black fathers that just happen to be icons. The number one that pops up in my mind is Coach Prime. Coach Prime, I think, has done an awesome job of raising 3 men, and he has 2 daughters. And all of them he's given equally the right amount of time. The interesting thing is that because he has 2 sons that could potentially be getting drafted this year, suddenly you're starting to hear Coach Prime is maybe he's has too much input into what's going on, or he is too involved in their lives and their careers. And the interesting thing to me about that is there's plenty of other fathers in the past that were all the way involved, and you didn't hear anything about that. One that comes up is Archie Manning. Archie Manning blocked Eli Manning from getting drafted to the San Diego Chargers. He ultimately got to go to the New York Giants because they said, no, we're not doing that. Then you think about all of Jerry Jones's family members that are inside of his organization. To go into talking about how LeBron forced the Lakers to draft his son, and Bronny James wouldn't be in the NBA if it wasn't for his father. Bronny James is a good basketball player. I feel like that people, they don't give him his credit. I'm not sure why. And then they also forget that he had the cardiac arrest, which is, most people don't even come back from something like that. So it takes time to get back into a space of performing. The interesting thing, though, is a lot of those haters, they don't have a lot to say, because Bronny James is averaging like 23 a game the past 7 games or something in the G League. He's progressing to a point where you're going to see, I think he's going to be maybe not a superstar, but I think he's going to be a really, really, really good player. He has the hops. He's strong. He changes direction. Yeah. Anyways, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me on why the parents, as a black father, it's always been our responsibility to make sure that the family's taken care of. It's no different now. To me, it just happens to be in the spotlight of, that they're wealthy and that, they're on TV. Only difference to me. Next topic is the Super Bowl. Wow, man. There was so many things going on in the Super Bowl. We don't have enough time to cover all of those. It was so many. But I'm going to point out a couple real quick ones. When it first started, it was the PlayStation controller. And throughout the performance, they showed different buttons on the PlayStation controller, basically saying this was like a game. And it was like a game as far as America, aka why you seen the red, white, and blue all throughout, which was the theme. then it was pretty strategic the way that they had Uncle Sam, Samuel L. Jackson. Uncle Sam was basically the representation of the government. He was, and you know, he kept saying the different things. He was saying like, too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. You know, we've all heard those things before. And another interesting thing was that Uncle Sam was kind of a play on Steven from Django as he goes through and you know he says those different things trying to control Kendrick's performances and don't do this, don't do that, you know, those interesting approaches. One of the things that really flew by, I'm pretty sure it flew by a lot of people's head or over people's head, is the 14 stars that was on his jacket, on Uncle Sam's jacket. Those 14 stars possibly are a representation of the 14 stars that were on the American flag in 1846 through 1848 that represented all the states that slavery was illegal in. Something to think about, right? There was a scene that showed the people as the flag, and it was like they were here and they were here, and then Kendrick was in the middle. And to me, it was like the cultural divide, because then he mentioned something about 40 acres and a mule. Yeah, it's very interesting to me how I heard people's opinions, and a lot was like his performance was mid. I don't know if it's mid. I thought it was a great performance, and at the same time, I guess the people that rank all of them and also the viewers, he was ranked number 4 next to number 1, which was Prince, who killed it. I think he did that in the rain too. Yeah. So the next topic we're gonna go to, which is gonna be MVP snub. I'm not biased because I am a Baltimore Raven fan, because I can just looking at the numbers themselves, it shouldn't be that hard. Like Lamar versus Josh Allen. Lamar had more passing yards. Lamar had more rushing yards. Lamar had more touchdowns. Lamar had a better passing rating. Lamar had less interceptions. Lamar, the only thing, also he beat Josh Allen in the regular season pretty bad. The only thing that Josh Allen had over Lamar was that he had a better record. And I just don't understand, like, what are we looking at when you determine that? And there was this one guy, I don't remember exactly who it was that said it, but he said something to the effect of voter fatigue because Lamar is already a two-time MVP. That's a terrible reason to just choose somebody else. If the best person, it's for the best person, regardless of if the best person has won before or not. You know, like, but that always fits the goalpost that's always been moved for Lamar though. So thankfully, anyone that's a Ravens fans, you already know how that goes. We don't really care about those individual accolades anymore. We want that Super Bowl, man. We gonna get there soon. Got to get there soon. I think that it should only be people voting that have played the game. Like their votes should count. I don't think that it should be like reporters or sports analysts or even people that say somebody, because I something that I thought about recently was like if it's like a sports analyst and maybe one of the players doesn't like to interview with that sports analyst, naturally he's not going to want to vote for that person now because that they don't like each other. So he's going to be biased regardless. If it's anything close, then he's not going to vote for whoever the person is. So I think that it should be, they should go back and kind of revamp who are the people that's voting. One other interesting thing about that was that Lamar got, was it first team All Pro? And all of the years, the player that got first team All Pros got the MVP. A little bit interesting, right? All right, well, anyway, we're going to transition on into next topic, which is the WNBA. And I said the WNBA is in really good hands because Asia, Asia Wilson is, Asia Wilson is really the LeBron James of the WNBA. Asia is like, she's a champion. She's like a defensive MVP. She's a league MVP. She conducts herself well. She's a great black woman. Like, she's a great representation. She's from Columbia, South Carolina, and she plays for the Las Vegas Aces. Right now, she's currently averaging 26.9 points a game, rebounds 11.9, assists 2.3. And about 2 weeks ago, her college retired her jersey. I think that was well deserved. She's an awesome player. I think we should see even more of her. You're starting to see some commercials and some other things. I think she just got a shoe. She just got her own sneaker last year, but they should have been recognizing her without all the other. Like, a lot of the NBA players started talking about her now, and then when Angel Reese came in, it was like, you can't talk about Angel Reese this much if you ain't gonna talk about Asia. And I'm gonna transition now into Angel because Angel is so dope. Angel Reese is like, she's from Baltimore. So from her to come from Baltimore and her humble beginnings, a lot of the things that she went through, we ain't got to bring those things up. But you just already know that coming from Baltimore, it's a really, really low chance of of succeeding. I'm pretty sure it's the same for South Carolina as well. But just knowing knowing the elements of Baltimore, like, for her to get up out of there, and then she has a good spirit. Like, the kids love her. Anytime you see her going to different events, I think I seen her at one of them all-star football games or something, and you could see, like, all the kids would light up, and she'd light up just like them, and was playing and running around and all of that. She last year she injured her wrist. I think she broke her wrist or something. She had to get surgery on her wrist. But prior to the injury, Angel Reese broke the record for most consecutive double doubles in a game. She came in and she was wrecking the league. I don't understand why they was trying to say that she was going to come into the NBA and not be very good, because she's good. She's going, at some point, she's going to probably be one of the best players in the league as long as she's working on the game. I seen that Lisa Leslie has already said she's going to work with her on a couple of different things as well. So that's going to be really, really good for the league. The WNBA is in really good hands, and there's some many others. I'm just kind of highlighting them too. And then Juju Watkins is the up and coming superstar, USC. Juju, like, she was born to be a basketball player, man. I was watching some of, like, her dedication at a young age. Her parents was talking about how that's all she's ever really wanted to do, and they supported her. I think that's the one thing that's missing from some of the households, is that when the kids say they really want to do something, like, I think her mom was saying, if she really wants to do it, or maybe it was her father, if he really want to do it, then you're not allowed to quit. And she didn't quit, and she just got better and better and better, and she just kept working on her game. And now she's probably been one of the best women's college basketball players for, like, the last 2 years or so. I think, yeah, because this is her second year. She'll definitely be coming out at some point, because probably next year, because she already is, like, she's killing the league. Like, nobody can really do anything with her. And she actually is a good person too. Like, she ain't got a nasty attitude. At least, I don't know her personally, but it seemed like that she definitely just, it's about the game. She loves the game, and that's it. And that's what it should be, All right, so now we're gonna transition into, this is one of the new segments that I've added. The new segment is it's highlighting an underrated black excellence. And who I'm talking about is going to be Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane, and some people will call it, say, it's football. In America, we call it soccer. But Sadio Mane might be one of those most humble. He's one of the most wealthiest. He's one of the wealthiest black men, but he's also one of the most humble. Man, this guy built, what is it? He built a school. He spent 250,000 euros. He built a hospital, and he spent 455,000 euros. He also brought in 4G to his village, like, so now they got 4G internet connections. He his father. The reason that he built the hospital is because his father died when he was 7 years old, and what happened was that his father was having some stomach pains, stomach problems, and there was no hospital in the village. So he had to go, I guess they had to go to wherever the closest hospital was. And by the time they were able to get to that hospital, I guess he was too sick. I was looking at something else where it was talking about how he played football with no shoes on. This guy was so determined. And even then, his mother didn't really want him to play. So he went and snuck off and played at another place, another location. And it was when he came back that he begged his mother to let him play and prove that he could be a professional. So yeah, Sadio Mane is our guy. That man is today's underrated black excellence, man. So now we're gonna go into talking about the two truths and a lie. All right, so the first truth or lie. In 2020, I went to Aruba, and I stayed in a resort for maybe almost like a week. And while I was there, I met this woman from Venezuela, and we hit it off. The way that the resort was set up, she was like, you could go to the bars. They had there was a lot of stuff inside of the resort. There was also, you had the different foods and stuff. So like in the morning when you go downstairs, you can go to this one bar that will have all of these different foods. Then you could go out a little further and they would have others, and they kind of knew who you was, or they at least would recognize you. So I met her. We had a really good time. We started hanging out every day. And then it ended up, we got married. Yeah. And it was cool for a minute. Then we realized that this was probably a mistake. So then, eventually we figured out that that's probably not the good idea. So, once we got back to America and everything, we made sure that we ended all of that stuff. That's number one. All right, number two, I lived in Virginia Beach from 2007 to 2015. And while I was in Virginia Beach, I decided to start running. And I started the running just because, it really had helped me mentally. Self-esteem, it helped me to build my self-esteem up. And then it just became my hobby. And I ended up running in a 5K and a 10K. So, yeah, that's that one. I thought it would be important to learn a different language. So I hired a tutor to learn Arabic. And so I started meeting with the tutor, which her name was Zahara, in 2018. So I started meeting with her, and I don't know, it just, I wasn't retaining it well. She wasn't bad. It just felt like I needed a little something different. And so then, fast forward another year later, I hired a tutor, which his name was Muhammad, and from Morocco. He was a really good dude too as well. We started meeting in the libraries a lot of times, and he helped me a tremendous amount. Just unfortunately, it was a time where some things came up, and I had to stop meeting with him. But yeah, so that was a good time. I actually got to a point where I could almost speak regular sentences, to a point where I still am pretty good with my Arabic now. So yeah, that is my two truths and a lie. I would appreciate if you like, subscribe, comment, continue to support. My co-host, we were just talking recently. We're planning on putting something together real soon. So just continue to support this. Black on Purpose 365. Black on Purpose is the purpose. We will be doing all kinds of different topics, conversations. We have a lot of different things planned. So look forward to you all coming in, listening to us, enjoying it, chiming in. And until next time, Black on Purpose 365.